The Baltimore Ravens come into a Week 7 matchup, still in first place in the AFC North, as they welcome the Cleveland Browns into M&T Bank Stadium this Sunday. God's favorite host, the host of the Moist, here to break it all down for you on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that bell for all notifications as we get ready for our Week 7 preview of the Baltimore Ravens as they take on the Cleveland Browns. What's going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host of the Moist, back here for another Baltimore Ravens preview as we head into Week 7 already. Can't believe that. 7 already. Appreciate you guys being here. You know the drill. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that bell for all notifications. Comment down below. Let me know your prediction and score for the Ravens versus the Browns this Sunday at M&T Bank Stadium, 1 p.m. kickoff. Could be a nice temperature-wise day in the 60s weather-wise, but it could also be wet with some scattered showers in between. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer to kickoff. But the game could be affected a little bit by the rain. Two teams that like to run the football, so it could be one of those types of grind it out, bring your lunch pail, be physical type of games, which I'll get into in a second. But the Ravens come into this game, as I mentioned, 3-3, in first place technically still. Browns 2-4, Week 7 already, season's flying by. And the Ravens have not been able to finish, have not been able to close out games. We talked ad nauseum on the channel. You can check out our preview and our post-game show and the Flex Zone podcast for our thoughts on the Giants last week. But the Ravens basically choked another game away, up by double digits in the fourth quarter again. Couldn't finish the deal, couldn't extend drives offensively, and couldn't get stops defensively, especially when the offense turns it over and gives the defense a short field, when the defense has been playing better over the last 3 weeks, in my opinion. But I think the Ravens have to win this game. I know it's Week 7. I know it's too early to say must wins when you still got, 10 games after this one. But when you look at this stretch, home against the Browns, then on a short week on the road, going to Tampa to play Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, who are getting healthy and are trying to get right, then going on a Monday night on the road to New Orleans. I know New Orleans is struggling with their quarterback situation, but they're still a tough physical team at home and have a solid defense, in my opinion, with athletes that can try to stop it. The Ravens like to do well, which we'll talk about down the line. But those are 3 pivotal games coming up, and I think you have to start with the win. I think 2-1 over the next 3 would be ideal and very, very essential for this team, trying to catapult them into winning this division eventually. But the Browns come in, number 1 running team in the NFL. Chubb, Hunt, best combo, best duo. They can do it all: run, catch, block. And Njoku's an athletic tight end. We know the Ravens struggle with tight ends. Mark Cooper, he's solid. He can get open, possession receiver. And Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, is their big play guy that they look to get involved with. But the key is going to be Jacoby Brissett, because we know that he is not Deshaun Watson, thankfully, and he does at times play well. Is a good game manager, doesn't turn the ball over, but at times he will give you a few like he did last week against the Patriots. But the dog pound is coming into M&T Bank Stadium, but the only Cleveland Brown I acknowledge is the one on Family Guy, that great animated sitcom for over 20 plus years, on Sunday nights on Fox and on Adult Swim on other nights. But let's get to my keys to the game. First key is going to be on offense. Stay patient. This defense is solid. They do have an opportunity to create some problems for this Ravens offense, but I do think that if the Ravens stay patient, stick to that game plan, Greg Roman, still try to establish the run, because I think the Browns are susceptible to the run, especially once you get past the 50. I think the Ravens have an opportunity, which goes into my next key. If they're patient, they will have an opportunity for big plays. Once they get across the 50, once they get across midfield, I think they have an opportunity to attack a Greedy Williams, to attack a Greg Newsome, guys who I think in the passing game could be susceptible to big plays, hopefully with some of the Ravens guys coming back, like a Justice Hill. Rashad Bateman looks like he's going to play, hopefully. Andrews, he's back at practice. So offensively, we know that J.K. Dobbins is out 4 to 6 weeks, but you're getting Gus Edwards possibly back in the next few weeks, if not this week. You got Justice Hill coming back. Kenyon Drake had over 100 yards last week. They should have gave him the ball more, but that's another topic for another day. And you still got Lamar Jackson. Next one, make some big plays. I just said it. If they have the ability to stay patient, they can make some big plays. Then that leads me to my next one, which is executing in the red zone last week. 3 plays, 4 plays inside the five. Don't score a touchdown. Don't run the ball once. Got to execute in the red zone. And while you may not get a touchdown every time, as I always say, you got to walk away with points. Don't turn the ball over. Don't make stupid bonehead plays. And last but not least, on offensively they have to close in the fourth quarter. We saw the terrible penalties, the stupid penalties on the offensive line. We've seen the illegal shifts, illegal motions, the false starts on short yardage where they were converting these third downs, which then led to Lamar trying to press and do too much, what led to the interceptions. But I would love to see them close in the fourth quarter. If they have a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, make it a 17, 20-point lead. Put the game out of reach that they can't come back. Defensively, got to set the edge well. This is the number one running team in the NFL. If you don't set the edge well, Ajabo, excuse me, not Ajabo, Owe. Ajabo should be coming back soon. I'm thinking about him already because he can set the edge. But Owe, Houston should be back hopefully this week. He's not great against the run, but having that extra body out there, Tyus Bowser is really, really good at setting the edge, but I don't think he's going to play this week. But Calais Campbell, Matt BK, we got to set the edge against these guys, and we have to ensure that they don't get the outside runs because they like to run that zone stretch, zone running scheme, and that can be something where they're finesse offensively on the offensive line, but they're physical with the running backs because they're going to hit you, and at the point of attack, your secondary is going to have to come up and tackle. Then that next one is be physical. You have to be physical, as I mentioned, your defensive backs, corners, safeties, Kyle Hamilton, Chuck Clark, Geno Stone, Humphrey, Peters. You're going to have to come up and make tackles against Chubb, against Hunt. You're going to have to tackle well. Queen, Bonds, Harrison, whomever's at the linebacker position, you're going to have to come up and tackle well. And last but not least, on defense, pressure quarterback. Brissett is a guy who does do well at times, but he does at times turn the ball over. And when you sit back there and let him pick you apart, he won't do that. But I think if the Ravens can bring some pressure, create some opportunities to get some pressure on the quarterback, which they've done a little bit better as of the weeks have gone on. And I think Mike McDonald is starting to find his footing as a defensive coordinator because they started out as 32nd, but now they're trending upward into the low 20s. So maybe they can get out of the 20s in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which would be great for this defense. And I think having some guys coming back, Bowser, Houston, Olway hopefully playing better, Matt BK, Calais Campbell, Broderick Washington, Travis Jones. I love what I've seen from him last week. I'm expecting another big game from him. I think they can create some pressure and create some turnovers for this team, which they will need to give the offense a short field, which would help out as the Ravens are right up there near the top in interceptions. Special teams, you got to win special teams, make your kicks, no stupid penalties, which we saw last week, and win the field position battle. This could be a tough, grinded out physical game for the first half of the game, first quarter going into halftime, but the second half could be where you could make some opportunities and really win this football game. Now, I do think, like I said, the Ravens have to win this football game. They're getting some guys back from injury. They're getting healthy at the right times. I don't think this is a bad team. They're still trying to find their footing, still trying to find their identity. But if I'm going to be glass half full, I'm glad they're getting these stupid, bonehead, gaff, choking mistakes out of the way in the first half of the season because the second half of the season is when you want to be playing your best football, when you want to be building momentum, when you want to be playing your best football going into the playoffs, being healthy, getting guys back, having guys playing their best football heading into December and January, as I mentioned. Prediction wise, I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens yet again. I've only picked against them, 1 week, and that was Buffalo, which they probably should have won that game. I'm picking the Ravens 27-20. Call me a homer. Call me drinking a purple Kool-Aid. I think the Ravens win this game 27-20. I think defensively they do enough to contain the running game. They did really good last week against Saquon Barkley, so I have to give them props for that. I think we can see more of the same where they keep Chubb to about 85 to 90, 95 yards, maybe keep Hump under 40. I think if they can keep this team rushing wise to 150 or less, they have a really, really good shot in winning this game because I think both backs, you'll see a lot of them. And I think Chubb will get his 20 carries and Hunt will probably get his 10 to 12 carries. So you'll get a lot of heavy dose of running. So if they can keep them to 150 or less, in my opinion, I think they still have a chance to win because I don't think this team will be hurting them with big plays with Cooper and Peoples-Jones. I think they have enough. If they can contain Njoku, which I think they will because Kyle Hamilton will be a key in that, Chuck Clark and other defensive backs probably jam him, bracket him at the line. I think there's an opportunity to make some plays for this defense, maybe get Brissett to fumble the ball, maybe get Brissett to throw you a pick or two, which would be great to get the home crowd into it, get the momentum into it. And if it is a rainy, scattered showers type of day, I think the Ravens running game is starting to play better. I think their offensive line is starting to play better as well. Ronnie Stanley, if Moses doesn't play, he hasn't missed a game in 7 years. You have Makari, and I think this line is getting better as the weeks go on. We can see Drake, Hill, and possibly Gus Edwards. That's a nice three-headed monster to use. And of course, Lamar. So really, you got a four-headed dragon there with that running game. And Lamar, don't turn the ball over. We need you to turn into the MVP Lamar we saw for the first few weeks of the season. So again, my keys: set the edge on defense, be physical, tackle well, and pressure the QB. Special teams, you got to win special teams, win field position, no stupid penalties. And the penalties go all around. Offensively, be patient, make some big plays, execute in the red zone, and close in the fourth quarter. Again, I'm going with the Ravens with a home win, 27-20, as they get ready to head into Thursday night football against Tampa this coming week. But if you're going to be at the game, be loud, be passionate, be into it. We'll be watching, we'll be talking about it. Of course, we will have the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show following the game. Hit the bell, hit that notification bell. No one will allow to when videos drops going off and content comes to the channel. We got a bunch of content for you. We got all the Ravens previews, all the Ravens post-game shows, all the recaps on Mondays as well. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. We appreciate you here on the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want to need it. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. It costs you nothing, helps tremendously, and helps out what we're trying to do here on the Flex On Podcast. Again, I'm the Ravens 27-20 over the Cleveland Browns, as they will move to 4-3 and maintain their first place lead in the AFC North. Appreciate it. Let me know your comments down below, your predictions, your scores, who's going to be a breakout player, who steps up, who returns from injury, and what you're looking forward to see tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm out here, y'all. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. Peace. Have a great day.